I'm just your average parent trying to do right by my kids. Never thought I'd have to, deal with something like this. It was a regular Tuesday afternoon. The kids' toys were scattered everywhere. Then there was a knock at the door. My heart sank when I saw who it was.
Hello, I'm from Child Protective Services. We've received a report and need to inspect your home.
I didn't know what to do. They wanted to come in, look around, talk to my kids. My hands were shaking. I felt like I was doing something wrong even though I knew I wasn't. But then, I remembered something I'd read online about knowing your rights. I took a deep breath and said, "I'm sorry, but unless you have a warrant, I can't let you in." The CPS worker looked surprised. They weren't used to parents knowing their rights. It wasn't easy, but I stood my ground. I protected my family's privacy that day. Remember, when CPS knocks, know your rights. It can make all the difference.
CPS took my neighbor's kids last week. Here's what I wish she knew beforehand. She had no clue what her rights were and completely panicked. That's exactly what you can't do. The difference between keeping your kids and losing them comes down to being prepared. There's this book, Stay Calm, CPS is Coming, that breaks down everything you need to know. Education isn't just power, it's protection. Grab it on Amazon or check cpsbreakingnews.com. Don't wait until it's your door they're knocking on.
That is to say, we live in a land we ought to be free. It's not seeming that's how it is shaping to be. The Constitution is supposed to guide us. Our government is taking it away and trying to deprive us. Our kids are taken every day by CPS agents looking for prey. They don't give a damn about the Constitution. We have found the one and only solution. There's a couple people you should know. Tiff and the Punisher is a show. They wanna stop CPS from stealing our kids, fighting beside us and trying to guide us. Tiff has a heart of gold. She blasts these caseworkers when they are wrong. She beats them down with her knowledge, better than the kids who are in college. The Punisher's abolished all the way. He's been here 4 years, they took his daughter away. He came from the darkness he was in. Now it's time to make parenting great again. Together they are making a commotion, telling all the parents use the Constitution potion. You have rights, did you know? Learn to use them on Tiff and Punisher show. We all admit the times are hard. No little children in the front yard. Tiff and Punisher are fighting so hard. They're waging war, on their side is God. They don't stop if they get in trouble. They fighting for the children, double trouble. The strength they need, they get from each other. They have each other's back like sister and brother. They are Tiff and the Punisher, saving the families from corruption. They want you to join their movement, no repercussion. You need to learn that thing called the Constitution. Inside that document is our solution. CPS, we have your number. We are coming for you, hear our thunder. Your fate is sealed, have a nice day. You won't break another family. No more trauma for kids, that's like blasphemy. Keep your thoughts to your own ideals. Soon enough, you'll be clicking your heels. Because you need to go to jail. All of us fathers will be chugging down an ale. The mothers will squeeze their young ones tight as CPS workers are locked down for the night. They had a choice, they didn't and made. Now they spend their days in craves. They should know it's wrong to kidnap. So from all of us, this is your payback. Here's a couple people you should know. Tiff and the Punishers, they show they wanna stop CPS from stealing our kids, fighting beside us and trying to guide us. Tiff has a heart of gold. She blasts these caseworkers when they are wrong. She beats them down with her knowledge, better than the kids who are in college. The Punishers abolish all the way. He's been here 4 years, they took his daughter away. He came from the darkness he was in. Now it's time to make parenting great again. Together they are making it come on.
Imagine being a child who has been torn away from their security blanket, their parents, the ones who stop the boogeyman from terrorizing the nights and curing their boo-boos when they scrape their knees. Now just imagine how they must feel when the CPS meant to protect them tears them away from their supposed abusers and places them with strangers who have zero comforting skills. They need to be calm. They are confused, lost, panicked, and needing their parents, but CPS took them away for the purpose of saving them. The kids don't even know why, and they are told that the parents they attach to no longer want them. What do you think that does? Do you think that this is how protecting children is supposed to look? Abolish CPS.
They are taking our kids every day. I shout them in and no one has a thing to say. For those who have been isolated, don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeves. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, god damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up like dim tags. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much being together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. Give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows, and the only games you play are old Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher Warrior, and we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stopping.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's up, Tiff?
Oh, I'm excited. School starts in one more day.
Oh, yeah, you're really close, aren't you? You're very,
Oh,
very, very close.
Oh, I am right
Smell it.
there. Oh,
You can smell the school bells are ringing.
yes, I can.
You are the only person on earth, except for every other parent in America, that is like, I love the smell of school lunches. I love school lunch smell. You know?
Oh, I'm so excited. So we met his teacher, and everybody was like, "Hey, King! Hey, King!"
You're like, bye, King, bye, King.
Yeah. See you on Thursday. I'm like, yeah, he'll be here.
Yep. Well, that was a good show last night. I thought that was a great show last night.
Yeah.
My eye's good. See, my eye's much better today.
Yeah. Did you take some Benadryl?
Yeah, Mary gave me some sort of a concoction that made my eye. Well, of course, and she didn't hit me either again that night. So that helps a little bit, I think. The non-hit to the face.
Yeah.
I do have some things going on there. See that? This little whatever. I don't know what it is, but it does something. But oh man. What is up with these people taking the kids out of the hospitals before these parents are even accused of a crime, of anything? What is up with that? Why are they able to just go into these hospitals and just take these kids with no threat of imminent danger, with no nothing, and then hide behind some BS excuse? What is this about, Tiff?
Well, first of all, is our guest in the back room?
I don't know. Is he here yet? Did you hear ding?
He said he was in the he was in Restream.
He is not here yet. I do not see him. Let's handle this man. I mean, I don't know if you all know about this. Listen, the big thing that they're pushing for right now is they're pushing for the umbilical cords to be tested. And the Supreme Court has ruled that you do not, it is unconstitutional. Without your permission, they cannot test that umbilical cord. They can't just take him out of there, or the baby out of there, and test that umbilical cord. You need to provide them with permission. Otherwise, sayonara, arrivederci.
Well,
See you later.
I also was watching another advocate. I'll leave their name out, but I need to get the case because according to a case that he found, even a hotel room and a hospital room, you have some privacy, right?
Gunner says that too.
Right. And there is a case, and I didn't catch it. I'll have to go back and find it. But anyway, there is no imminent or exigent circumstances in a hospital. Therefore, legally, they still have to get a removal order. I don't care if the whole goddamn police department shows up. Without a court order, they cannot legally remove any child.
Right. That's what I figured. But they're going in there and they're shaking these people up, getting them all nervous. I mean, the first thing they do is make you think that you did something wrong immediately. Now, this is supposed to be a beautiful thing. This is supposed to be your baby's born. It's supposed to be exciting and some part romantic and, all of these things. And they're just destroying these moments with these children. And they're actually just taking these babies from the hospitals, like immediately. Like, what the hell is that? Alicia says Iowa tests every child born through the umbilical cord and they go back 20 weeks into pregnancy. First of all, they need to stop with this shit, because what they're doing is they're scaring parents away that are using drugs or have an issue that they know is going to be recognized. So they end up having these babies in trash cans and dumpsters and doing awful things to these babies. They're scaring these people away from going to the hospital and getting the treatment that they need and could have, and have these babies healthy. They need to stop with this crap. They need to stop with this because parents aren't going to get treated. We're having parents coming out with high risk pregnancies. They're coming out with all kinds of damaged goods, if you will, in themselves because they didn't get treated while they were pregnant because they were afraid of these things. And the Supreme Court, like I said, Alicia, the Supreme Court has ruled they cannot just test you for that stuff. They need your permission. Don't give them the permission to test the umbilical cord. That's a very important thing. Do not, because what they're coming up with now is, anybody guess? If I had a drum roll, I would use it. But they're coming up and they're saying that you're positive with drugs. And I believe that we did have someone on the show once that said the stuff that they're even putting in the epidurals have a degree of fentanyl or something in them, right? Like some degree of some sort of medicine that they're testing for.
Okay, so put the link up because he showed me a screen. It's just taking him straight to, hey,
All right.
Leah, straight to not our show. So put it up. But
All
this
right.
is the thing. And don't nobody have their babies in a trash can. But I will tell you this. You're better off giving your baby a birth in the trash can because you'll get your baby back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, baby trash can ain't taking no baby. Most
Right.
thing you're gonna get is Oscar come out of it.
Well, they're not even going to charge you because there's so many women in DC that have given birth out and put these babies in dumpsters. And next few weeks, I'm hearing, oh yeah, the baby in the dumpster was given back to the mother. I said, what the hell is wrong with people?
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's nuts. I can't even believe I was never even thinking about that stuff. Can you imagine? Someone must have just dropped this baby in this dumpster accidentally. Let's get this back to the parents.
Well, that's what they do.
Wow, that's crazy. And yet there's parents that are sitting here that didn't do a damn thing wrong, fighting for their children's lives now, ruining their bonding periods. And that's what they're doing, people. Make no mistake. When they take your baby from you in that hospital, they are destroying that bond that the wife or your girlfriend or mom is supposed to get with that baby. They're supposed to get that bonding time where the baby latches onto the nipple and all that stuff, that skin-to-skin contact. All of those things are required for that baby to adjust and to make a bond to you. And they're taking that away.
Yeah, it's
And
called skin-to-skin contact.
Right. Yep. So, like these are, there we go. Gunning for CPS is on here. Hospitals have contracted to breach of your rights. You're these for medical treatment with consent only. Gunner, what was the name of that? Yeah, I know you talk about the Fourth Amendment covers you in the hotel room. I mean, the hospital.
In the hospital.
What was that case law, buddy? If you can put that up there, that'd be
California
huge.
versus something.
Let's see. Private contract.
Short of having a C-section, because there's no way around that. I tell people to go to birthing centers or oh my God, those people. What are those women?
Candy stripers?
No, they're
midwives.
Not midwives, yes. Or have a water birth. Into your home. You can do all of that. Nobody said you had to have a baby at a hospital. There's no law that says you have to give birth at a hospital.
I know. Look at Jesus was born in a barn. Hello.
Babies will come before you even make it to the hospital. I've seen
videos
of dads delivering babies on the way to the hospital. I've seen moms just pushing babies out on the side of the road because
don't get it on the new rug.
Yeah.
You had to pick white, didn't you, honey?
Yeah. Having babies at home. Nobody said there's no law that says you have to have a baby at home. Now, if you have to have a C-section, that's a whole different scenario.
Yeah, don't do that at home. Don't do that at home.
Do that.
We're not advising that at all. That's not even close to. Don't do that. Yeah, the Amish have midwives. Everybody has midwives, Debbie.
Yeah.
A man can be a midwife.
Hell, any woman that is given birth naturally can help deliver a baby. When my daughter was pregnant,
all you got to do is just stand there and catch it.
Well, that's pretty much all you got to do. I was like, don't worry. I've had 4 natural births. I know what to do. She's like, ew, Mom.
That's interesting. Leah says that most insurances don't pay for it. That's why a lot of people don't do it. My daughter wanted to have a water birth, but couldn't do it because of the insurance. How much expensive can that be to have a baby in a pool?
Yeah, Leah, how much is it?
Kale, I put the thing up for you. I put the
Yeah.
link. I'll do it again, buddy.
I sent it to his messenger. I don't know why it didn't work. Leah's actually a friend of mine. My youngest and her oldest grew up together.
Oh, that's nice.
I told her we were coming on. She's going to come and talk to me. I hope you got my message, Leah. I said this weekend.
Anywhere you reside, you rent, lease, your rights follow you. You technically rent a hospital room or take up temporary residency, which the hospital bills you and/or insurance. That's what Garner said.
Yeah, because from the blanket to the goddamn medication to the baby's blanket to all that, they bill you for everything. I got a bill one time. They charged me $5 for one Tylenol. I said, well, hell, I could have bought a whole fucking bottle
Yeah,
for
brought your own.
$5.
Bring your own
Yeah.
Tylenol.
And I steal the blankets.
Oh, there we go. We got him
I
in
pay
here now.
for them.
All right, we got Kale back here in the back with us. Yeah, everybody, let's bring him out.
How
Kale.
you doing? Sorry, was not used to this streaming.
That's
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
You made it though.
Yeah, you're in. You're in. You're in. All right. What's up, Kale? What's going on?
So, a little about my case. It's been going on for a little over 3 years now. At the time me and my wife were together, we've now been separated almost a year, and she's pretty well walked away and threw up her hands and told the department to return the child to me. But my son is deaf and with special needs. He had cochlear implants. He had his second failure when he was 12 years old. So we explanted him after a year of going through all the testing and finding out that he had his second failure. He also had what's called PANDAS, pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric disorder associated with strep. 6 years old, he caught strep A, scarlet fever, and impetigo, reverted back to a 2-year-old. Lost abilities for everything. So he's missed a lot of school.
Oh, boy.
COVID, he does not do FaceTime or computer, so trying to get him to sit and do 6 hours of schooling on a computer was not going to happen.
All right.
So we homeschooled him. And I did it to my best ability. Taught him living on a farm. Used everyday activities to teach him daily how to function. I mean, not so much math and reading and all that, but how to function. We communicate using ASL. We moved back to Austin area to help a veteran family start a nonprofit. Well, that ended up not going well. My wife went into the hospital, and I got into an argument with the husband. He threatened to pull a gun on me. So I called SO because he was crazy. Well, they found out I was a transgender man and arrested me and charged me with first-degree felony of burglary. So because I wasn't there, they left my son with him, and he called CPS on us after he destroyed our RV. Threw everything in it. Pictures they took, good and well, nobody could have lived in that environment. Well, the department went from him living in a deplorable conditions to saying I over medicalized and had unnecessary procedures done to my son.
So what they pretty much said that you had Munchausen's by proxy.
Yep, and I've been with my therapist that they send me to now for over a year and a half, and she's got her doctor in psychology, and she goes, doesn't meet it. My son had one doctor for just over 6 years who treated him for everything. But because they cannot read his handwriting and his documentation, the way he documents things, they say he was never diagnosed with it. And they took him to Dell Children's in Austin, and they don't believe in the condition. So their pediatrician looked at him and goes, oh, no, he doesn't have it. Without running any tests or anything.
Wow.
Just based off what they have. So because my ex-wife's family had him, and they couldn't communicate with him. So of course there was fighting. There was him being an unruly kid because he couldn't get his needs across or met. We split. They said they no longer wanted him, and because there's no place in the state of Texas they say that will take a deaf child, they moved him to Massachusetts.
But what
And
do you, whoa. There's no place in Texas that will take a deaf child. I have a hard time believing that, but of course we're dealing with people who lie.
I contacted a very large number of foster families and reached out to them. And my son went to Texas School for the Deaf. He went to school, arrived Sunday night, came home Friday afternoon. So we only had him, or my ex-in-laws only had him 2 days out of the week anyhow. The deaf community does not want to have any dealings with CPS or the foster system anymore because of the way they treat the deaf kids. So trying to find someone, there was one place, but it was a because he's on the Medicaid program, but one of the family members did not want to turn over the social for them to do a background check on him living in the group home. So they couldn't place him there. I'm like, it's a state funded facility. Why do they not already have his social? And why was the background check already not done?
So why was he removed to begin with?
Because I wasn't there. I got arrested. She was in the hospital, and they said he was in deplorable conditions and did not know when his next meal would come. The kid was within the 95th percentile of weight. The kid was eating. He wasn't skin and bones by far.
Right. So why won't they give him back to you?
They say because if they do, then I'll start taking him back to doctors and trying to get all these the what if game.
Do you think that the transgender thing they started to play a role in this?
Yes, it does because they straight up told me many a times that the judge will not give him back until he reaches the age of 18.
Darren, there's an echo. It's you. Yeah.
Is it me? What the hell? Let me see.
They tell me it doesn't play a role, but I know it does. But my son does not know. I transitioned 20 years ago. 90% of people who tell you, they never look at me and know.
Right. I still don't understand why they won't give him back to you.
I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, fully set up, food in the refrigerator, all bills and the utilities are on. He has a bedroom fully set up for him. And I told him when they wanted to send him to Massachusetts, I was like, y'all maintain control over education and medical so I can prove to y'all that I won't do what you say. He goes to school Sunday through Friday. He would only be home 2 days.
And you're in Texas?
Yes, I'm 20 miles south of Austin.
Okay, so I got an advocate down there. I'm going to get you in touch with her. But in the meantime, if your personal therapist is saying you don't meet the requirements for Munchausen's by proxy, she needs to go to court with you.
She's going tomorrow.
And let me tell you, I have custody of 2 of my grandkids, right? And the doctor was like, oh, they need to go to daycare so they can be socialized. Well, the first year, we was at the doctor every 2 weeks, right? So finally I got to where I would say, hey, it's the Munchausen's by proxy lady. Can you rent me a room? Because I know that they will tag people like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
And they've changed his therapist 4 times because the therapist would not do what they wanted because they wanted him taken off all of his medications at once. And the therapist was like, you can't do that.
No, that will hurt him.
And then I'm on caseworker number 19.
So where's mom at?
Mom up and left and went to Alabama. She's back on her drugs and stuff.
Oh my. So So now I understand, Darren. You're the one echoing. Um, so now I understand the what if game. Okay, so that's what they're saying. What if? What if? What if? Is that what they're saying?
Basically, and my thing was with them is where they moved him to. They told us it was a boarding school for the deaf. So I was expecting it to be like the school he was in now, but 24/7 to where he didn't have to go home on the weekends. No, he's in a residential treatment facility.
Oh, that's because they're getting paid big money. That's why.
Um, his toys, everything are locked up.
Why?
He, because he's actually in a mental health treatment facility. Like, I mean, a state psych hospital.
Okay, so wait a minute. Wait a minute. So he's deaf,
Hmm.
but they have him in a psychiatric hospital.
Well, this school in Massachusetts has two programs on it. One is a
Mm.
regular deaf school. The other is a deaf school for psychiatric kids. He's never gotten into a fight a day in his life. Has never hit another kid. Has cowered. He's already hit one kid in the face because that kid was picking on him and pushing him around.
Well, hell, adults out here will protect themselves the same way.
I mean,
Leah
when I went up
said,
there, I
go
had to
ahead.
take him up there. I'm looking around. One kid's wearing headphones and just babbling to himself. Another one is pacing the floors, and I'm going, this is not what y'all told me he was going to.
Mm-hmm.
His therapist up there said he's scared he's going to pick up bad habits from the kids up there. The education he's getting up there is nothing compared to down here because he tells them, looks at him and goes, I don't know. Kids going into high school saying he can't add 22 plus 37, which
Oh
I
my
know is a
God.
lie.
So Leah wants to know if they're making you pay child support.
No. I still pay for school supplies, clothing, sending money, do all that, but no, they've not ordered any of us to pay child support.
So what is your court date about tomorrow?
Just another one of those random. We have a final order that was done in August of 23, and they never followed through with that. They would say, because in the springtime, he gets really sick. And once he gets sick at school, he doesn't want to return to school, but that's part of the pandas and the way they act. Well, each May, when he'd get sick, we'd take him to the doctor. Well, last year we followed their orders and they told us, okay, call the 1-800 number. They said take him to urgent care. We did. They gave him his antibiotics and stuff. He had a reaction to it. So I called him and I said, hey, you need to call him. We asked him, what do we do? So they said, bring him in. Well, got out of the car, started beating his head against the concrete slab. And I'm like, no, this is a danger to himself. He's now going to the ER. Well, I'd already given him Benadryl. The doctor showed up 5 hours later. By that time, he wasn't having an allergic reaction no more. Well, he had been to that hospital before, and of course, his past medical history is there. And the doctor's like, we have a doctor here that treats pandas. I was like, yes, ma'am, I know. He's had a referral for 2 years, but they refused to allow him to go.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, okay, well, it was put in the report. So I gave medical history because the doctor wrote in there about the panda's doctor. I'm like, no, I didn't. It was in his past medical history. I was like, y'all are basing this off of assumption. Y'all don't even have the doctor's report yet. This is based off what Jackie told y'all.
Right.
And they've done that both Mays, which would take my visitation down to 2 hours during the summer a week, to where I did not get to see. And it had to be supervised by the department and not anyone else. So now I get 30 minutes a week FaceTime phone call because he's up there. And only way they say they will bring him home for a visit is after I show I can go up there to see him. I said, one, I just had cervical surgery less than a month and a half ago. I'm not even able to travel right now. After this week, he's out for 2 weeks before school starts back up, but they refuse to bring him home. The court orders for tomorrow say nothing new.
Do
Same thing they always say.
I know. that I'm about to ask you one of the stupidest questions, but do you have a lawyer?
No lawyer will take this case because of the judge. And she will not do when we did the final order, she took my court appointed away, even though they've now amended that final order 30 times without ever opening a new case.
Unbelievable.
I try to talk or challenge anything they say, she'll tell me to shut up.
Have you ever said you are in violation of the United States Constitution and the state constitution?
Yep, and she goes, court's over.
Oh, she wanted to play that game. Have you filed anything against her?
Yes, I have, and it was dismissed.
Well,
Filed it against the attorneys, it was dismissed.
they do that, but you still got a paper trail.
Yeah. Now I just got the affidavit back from Gunner yesterday to file the appeal, and I was waiting until after this court date tomorrow so I can file for the take it to the next level.
Yeah, because this is what I try and tell people. Stay out of family courts, stay out of state courts, because they're only looking out for the state's interests. They're not looking out for anybody else. Just fill their pockets. That's why we tell people, once you get done with the state court, you take your happy behind on over there to the federal courthouse and start filing criminal constitutional violations and complaints against these judges in federal court.
Yeah, because it's ridiculous with her. And what's bad is the doctors who can prove that what is wrong with him is wrong has sat on her witness stand and testified in her court during this case. But they refuse to let him see that doctor because they know it will come back on them saying, nope, the diagnosis was correct.
But you can subpoena that doctor.
She has denied it.
No. That's a due process violation. That's 14th and a 5th Amendment right.
She's refusing to go to a trial, and she says, I cannot ask anybody that's not provided by CPS to come into court.
She's fucking lying to you. I'm glad Gunner's working with you, because right now my blood pressure is about to go through the roof.
She's tried to hold me in contempt because I try to record whenever I have interactions with the department. So they're always out there talking before court. So I had a recorder in my pocket. Was going to turn it off before we actually went in and everything, because she's always saying you can't record. Well, the deputies at the entrance called up to the courtroom and told them I had a tape recorder on me. So now every time we go in, first thing she does is read me this long paragraph telling me I'm going to be held in contempt if I attempt to record anything. They take my cell phone away.
Well, that's also your First Amendment right, because people don't understand that the courthouse is the people's house, not the judge's house, okay? And the Supreme Court of the United States said we can record anybody that's in an official capacity. It doesn't matter who they are or where they're at. Oh, my blood pressure. I knew you were going to raise my blood pressure. I just knew it.
I mean, if anybody tries to come in to support me, she kicks them out of the courtroom.
Okay, so make sure Gunner gives you the judge's canons, because she's in violation of all that. And this is why it is so imperative. It is so imperative that people learn what their rights are, because let me tell you, and Leah lives right here in this town. I don't play with ne'er judge. Not one of them. I threatened to sue one. I told one of them I'll see his ass in federal court. I told another one I don't comply and I don't consent. Those 3 judges won't hear anything with my name on it anymore. Judge Kellis, Athey, and Drown. That's because I know my rights. Everybody has to learn their rights. They have to know. And listen, we all know that the judiciary boards and the bar don't do shit, but every complaint stays on their record.
Okay.
That's why we tell people, we know they ain't going to do nothing, but every complaint has to stay on that record because it's an official complaint.
I filed with the ombudsman for the
They don't do shit
department.
either, but go ahead.
Oh no, I got called out in court by one of the attorneys telling the judge I filed the complaint.
And what happened?
She's like, "Well, why would you do something like that?" I was like, "Because they're not doing their job."
I would have said because it's my right.
I was just like, "Y'all are really gonna call me out on this?"
Yeah, even Lee, I told you she knows me. She said, yeah, she's not the one. That's right, Gunner. Color of law form, man. I love that. I love that. I love that thing.
Yeah. I just
Well, my thing is, and I've said this plenty of times, nobody has a crystal ball. What if, I believe. Bitch, do you have a crystal ball? Because I need to see what my future is since you know so damn much.
and like I've asked them, I was like, "Which one of y'all went to medical school?"
Huh.
I was like, "Because I was like, you don't have a doctor out there that has told you anything I did was incorrect or caused harm to my son. So, which one of y'all went to medical school to review these medical records to determine what was right and what was wrong?" And that pissed them all off because we're supposed to have a monthly meeting every month with the department and
Uh-huh.
everybody. And they're like, we don't have doctors review records unless we're terminating parental rights. I'm like, but yet you're accusing me of, and they have yet in 3 years to provide any instance of where I went wrong and what I did wrong. They can't.
Because it doesn't matter to them. All that matters is their word is God, right? And it's written in stone. And how dare you defy us by going to your own doctor? How dare you?
Oh, I can't even. As I just said, I can't even get a second opinion on my son because
They moved him
they
2,000
made
miles
sure I had no
away.
access. Yeah, even when he was here, they made sure I didn't have access to do it. They
Leah said, does your son get a disability check?
he just started getting SSI.
Oh, boo, bingo, boop, boop, boop. There it is.
He didn't get the title. What is it? Title 4E?
It doesn't matter.
Because they said, I said that one he doesn't get, but SSI they finally got him on it.
He's tied to the money.
They've refused to put him in therapy for this 3 years.
Did he?
The time I put him in therapy, they made me remove him.
Henry's on here. Henry does the ADA stuff. You might want to get in touch with Henry too, because he's the ADA dude, man. I'm telling you, that man will blow your head off. Not literally, but with all the information he has.
Yeah. I asked for a deaf advocate for my son. They refused it.
Henry, I hope you're getting all this.
And I'm like, how can you? I was like, none of y'all know what it's like to live deaf or in that culture. So how can y'all advocate for him?
They can't. They don't want to advocate for him. He's a big fat paycheck. That's what they're advocating for.
And all he does is he wants to come home, but he doesn't understand what's going on. He's got an IQ of 70.
Yeah.
So they say, which I think he's just blowing smoke up their ass, but let him play it right now. But they want him 100% fluent in ASL. He didn't even start ASL till he was 5 because we were sent to an oral school for the deaf in San Antonio, and he never learned to talk. So they kicked him out at 5. So we started ASL. Well, by that time, he was past the learning stage of acquiring language. He can still communicate, and he can communicate just fine with hearing people. He proved it when he ran away from my mother-in-law's house and a cop stopped him.
He's nothing but a paycheck.
Cop asked him.
That's all he is.
Yeah, the cop asked him, "What's your name?" And he realized he was deaf, so he wrote it down. He goes, "Hunter, what's yours?" cop told him, he goes, "Where are you going?" "Taco Bell, I want tacos." So he took him to Taco Bell. He ordered him tacos, then took him
Oh,
home.
well, that was nice.
So I'm like, he can communicate, he can get it across, obviously. But they're saying because he's not proficient in ASL, that of a 15-year-old, then I have done everything in my power to keep him uneducated so he stays with me.
You said he's 15. He's
Yes, he just
he's
turned
supposed to
15.
be participating in his own plan. Is he doing that?
Nope, he hasn't had a plan, and I don't know when. I haven't even had a family service plan, and I don't know when.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I ask for it, "Oh, we're working on it."
No. They're not working on it. They just stuck him there so that Massachusetts and Texas can split the check.
Only service I have to do now is my weekly, I think we're down to twice a month check in with my therapist, and we talk for 5 minutes, and then we're done because she's like, "It's a BS."
Yeah, that's what I said.
We've tried to move it out of her court when everybody was in Bear County. She refuses to allow it out of her court. It's in the courts of Williamson County. The department is out of Travis County, and I live in Hayes County.
Henry said, "Is this in Texas?" Yes, Henry, it's in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, out of Williamson County, the worst county in Texas.
Well, there's a couple things that you do got going for you. One, you got Henry. Two, you got Sharon and Gunner. Three, you got me and Darren. And four, I know two people that live in Texas, one near San Antonio and one on the other side of San Antonio, that deal with family courts all the time. And I'm going to get you in touch with them too. But because you have court tomorrow, I will let Kim and George know that you're going to be contacting him, that you'll be contacting them. But for now, keep working with Henry and Gunner and Sharon.
I work with Dallas too.
Well, and Dallas is there too. What did Dallas say?
He's been with me off and on. It's the same as the shit he's dealing with in Bear County. No matter what you do, I mean, like them trying to tell him yesterday he was incompetent. I mean,
huh?
Yeah, the judge yesterday looked at him and ordered a psych evaluation on him because he's incompetent. Dallas.
I don't think Dallas is incompetent.
Then turned around and agreed to the motions by the other party.
Yeah, I don't think Dallas is incompetent. I think Dallas is too much for them.
Exactly. You start calling them and they just like try to bury you further and further.
Oh, Henry said bring him in, Darren.
Come on in, Henry.
Use the same link, Harry. He just said it. Bring me in.
I know he's not here, though.
Oh.
I'll put the link up, Henry.
Darren, what are you eating?
Nothing.
Oh, sounded like some M&Ms. Oh, you're always eating that. I'm surprised your teeth aren't falling out.
Well, if that's going to be what does it.
Like tomorrow, I plan on asking the department produce the evidence you have against me.
There we go.
And what right now makes me unfit to have him home.
Yeah, you need to ask. And then, you know what you do? When they deny Darren Wise playing.
One man is lost in the...
Because we got Henry coming in, that's why.
Oh, okay. Henry.
Hi, my friend. How are you today? I just joined in a little late, but you know it's hilarious? I just hung up the phone with a teacher out of Texas, Houston, and she's trying to advocate for her students, and she just got fired for it, and she's asking me what to do. I just put a name and number of Diego in your Southeast Training Center. You got one thing going for you right now, and what I love is the disability of being deaf. That is the most underlooked disability, but over, we'll say, litigated. So we're lucky to have that on your side right now. I would really
Okay.
call Diego and I would explain to him these things. And I'm just catching a quick glimpse. They said that your son is not at a certain level at age 15. Bullshit. His ADA has the right to be at the level he's at, and he has the right to have an understanding to the fullest extent that he can participate. So how dare you use that against him? Number one. Number two is you have an HHS OCR complaint to file. You need to go to the past shows. We're talking about this thing in Dallas. I'm not putting him down. And I had to laugh. They're giving him a psych evaluation. That's the first shit in time I've ever heard of that one. Again, he's your advocate. How can they order a psych evaluation that has no meaning to the case?
No, that's in his case in Bear County, where they're
I
coming
heard
after him for
Texas through the
practicing law.
grapevine last night is going after Dallas for practicing the law. Now,
Yeah, and that's where they ordered the psych eval.
I'm
that
trying to
judge.
set myself up with another gentleman right now. He's challenging somebody in Connecticut. I found out basically, and this is a warning, Tiff, not to Punisher, to Tiff. They got Paul by suggesting harm to people, and he basically was arrested and had to fight a year and a half to get out of jail. Okay, now he's out and he's more fuming and pissed than ever before. And again, I'm just going to let you know, Tiff. But again, we don't condone violence here. We don't. We figuratively think about it all the time. I'm sure of it. Everyone does, but it's wrong. You can't stoop to their level. So that's all. I'm going to let you know, and I'll fill you guys more in as when I remake contact with him. I just asked somebody to facilitate the contact. And so anyways, my friend, I can give you a settlement agreement out of Connecticut, but that ain't going to do you that much good. I go back to now, if you were to hang up with this meeting tonight, start Googling settlement agreements, Department of Justice, underneath the ADA.gov, and look for Texas settlement agreements. You're looking for deaf. If you don't have none there, I want you to look in other states. And again, what the whole thing is going to be about is what we've been talking about for the last two shows in Rikers Island settlement agreement. You have to look at our previous show from Saturday night. And I know it's a lot. Maybe one of these guys got your email or something. I don't know, but it starts with a designated responsible employee, 28 CFR 35.107. You piss on your contact people. Do you understand that? I am facing discrimination. This is what the law says. I will go to this person. Upon my complaint being filed, they will give me a case number, case reference, just like a regular police report. There has to be a finding of facts. There has to be a lot of things. And again, if the judge is ruling on it, Your Honor, I believe this is administrative duty, Your Honor. I'm respectfully requesting this court to adjourn to address this administrative duty. Again, you can look at Diego's training of the Southwest Training Center. That was in January. It was about people with intellectual disabilities. He put that together for me, my friend. He did it strictly because I made a complaint to him. And what I'm so pissed about is I'm in New England and I have to call the Texas Training Center. And when I say to you, this guy is a beautiful man, his sister is running the center. At the same time, his wife is involved, and I believe they oversee a few people with disabilities as guardians. And again, we need more people like that are honest in life. They're not looking for money. They just want to achieve community inclusion. So again, your son's been in care. I'd be questioning why. How is this a community setting? How is this a natural family setting? I am his biological father. You have found no medical evidence. You have gotten no doctors to write that I'm medically abusing him or did anything. And if anything, if you really want to go there, Your Honor, I would like to bring in the school system because technically the tools they use in the school are supposed to carry over to home by by federal law. You understand what I don't know how much PPTs you got into and IEPs. But I'm sure somewhere.
That's one issue we have right now is because they moved him to Massachusetts, and because he's not enrolled from a local school district, they're saying the school's saying they cannot do an IEP. So they did an educational decision making, went over and stated all this, but go, oh, no signatures are required. So I asked them, I was like, so how are we supposed to hold them accountable for what we're agreeing to here when there's no signatures, no
You're
nothing
right on the
saying yes, we
ball.
will
My
do
next
this.
thing is then I would bring in Pam and Peter Wright. Have you ever heard of rightslaw.com?
Rights law? Yes, I've been studying it like
Okay,
crazy.
I
the
went
last
through
week.
their effective training, and you haven't tried Googling anything within their search box that fits the criteria?
Yes, and that's why found out that the signatures are required and things like that. The what's required for them. So I have all that to objecting or to bring up in court tomorrow
All
as
right, and
well.
my last suggestion would be to you is COPA. You ever hear of them? Okay,
No.
COPA is the parent advocacy. Let me get it, the truth here, because they have advocates in every state, and it sounds to me like you need to figure out, because now you're dealing with two different states. Seeing how you have Massachusetts, right? Have
Yes.
you ever heard of because now the child's in the District of Mass, right? And we know by when they subcontract, they cannot give up their affirmative obligations. So, do you know what I'm saying by that? In other words, the government, when your local committee is subcontracting out to a third party entity, they don't lose their affirmative rights to their ADA protection. And I believe 504, but do not quote me on that one. But I think it would be still permissible. The only thing I've seen challenge is if you're going to a Catholic setting or a church setting. I still argue a different way there because I believe they can't. So COPA is COPAA. And again, it's protecting the legal and civil rights of students with disabilities and their families. Okay, you want to get into there. In Massachusetts, hold on a minute, because as a parent, I would immediately, that would be my next call, because we'll be up before you are in the morning. Where in the country are you? You're in Texas, so we'll be up before you. Definitely call Mass disability. I'm the two-finger typer.
And Henry, I sent you his email address. It's in your messenger.
Okay. Disability.
Because they've put him in such a restrictive environment right now.
You
it's
have,
crazy.
because he's in Mass, you have the Disability Law Center of Massachusetts, which is Massachusetts's advocacy and protection. You feel familiar with protection and advocacies? Protection and advocacies is our national organization that the federal government funds for the protection in advocacy. In Massachusetts, in my state, they call it Disability Rights of Connecticut, but in Massachusetts, they are calling it the Disability Law Center.
See, he's got a disability rights attorney, and she's the one against me the biggest.
Really? And who's that attorney?
Meredith Paré, out of Texas Disability Rights.
Out of Texas. If the child is being educated in Mass, you do not want that. You don't want, you want Mass. Mass is the one that's being responsible. And again, that's in my opinion. I'm not a legal expert, but that's where he is. Okay, my next one is the Centers for Public Representation. Have you ever heard of that?
No, sir.
Okay, they're in Massachusetts. So again, you can they're in actually East Hampton, Mass. I can give you the number right now, 413. Let me get my glasses. Hold on a minute. I can't tell if it's a 413-586-6024. And I apologize. That's my guy in the background making some noise. But again, you want to explain your story that you're being subcontract out to Mass. You got, Texas Disability Law Centers or advocates practicing law from Massachusetts. You don't think this is right. Give them the explanation of what's going on. And again, ask them if there's any local Massachusetts deaf centers. I know Connecticut I believe it's called Heart. It's an institution in Hartford, Connecticut for the deaf. And again, they have their own private school. So again,
Well, that's where he's at in Massachusetts. Is the Learning Center, which has the Mary Phillips School, and then it has the Walden School. And Walden is a residential treatment facility that offers deaf education.
Okay.
But he's like in a state hospital, basically. That type of setting.
For what reason?
His toys are locked
he
up.
sounded highly functioning to me. Yes, he doesn't know about stranger danger. I guarantee you that.
Oh, he does. And he'll tell you, no, I don't know you.
Okay.
But I mean, he knows, like for him, his emotional, because he's autistic and a lot, but yet they refuse to recognize that diagnosis as well. So he has those there to where his emotional, like no matter what, he's happy. Like when his mother disappeared, she just stopped showing up one day for him when we split. And so he looked at me and goes, Mommy's dead. I was like, why do you say that? He goes, Mommy's gone. Mommy's dead. Well, working on a farm, we put an animal down. They're dead. They're gone. And for him, it's easier. Why would you ever want to think my mom just left?
Yeah, and you have the learning tool. So again, I see
That's how
I
he
see where
processed
you're
it.
taking it in. And this Debbie Anderson is asking. My question is, why didn't they do a IEP that's supposed to help with? And again, that's where you have to refute everything in IEPs. And again, he said it earlier
I had
when
no
I tuned
say.
in. Who's the medical doctor? So again, I use the University of Connecticut for an independent education evaluation, which again in Massachusetts, I gave you the two numbers that you should be able to ask. Who can I use for independent education evaluation? My hands are being tied. I'm in Texas.
And the
But the
courts tied my hands even further. Is I have no say or input on education or medical whatsoever.
If
I
you
don't
have
think
your
so.
parental rights,
If you
that's
still have
not true.
if you still have your parental rights, look at termination of parental rights, reinforce that immediately. Your Honor, my rights have never been terminated. These people have denied me the right to effectively be part of the team process planning for the needs of my child while he's out of my care. And what it's doing is negatively affecting us because obviously they've shipped my child halfway across this country for no just reason. Okay. And then we talked about it in a show the other night. We know, there's certain studies out there, again, that you got to refer to, that you got to find Google Scholar. What does a baby have for attachments to their parents? What does a teenager have? Just look for a study that's going to support your position.
In Texas, we even have the Texas Pandas and Pans Advisory Board in Austin.
Yeah, but this is the problem. Even talking with Diego and the teacher today, I'm telling you, you guys are shit on in Texas, big time. Big time. And yes, I believe it's in a lot of Republican states. But this is where it's starting back up again. It's called the Enriker Settlement Agreement. If you do not understand that they have an affirmative obligation for again, Google my name, please. You got your pencil ready? Henry.
Yes.
Henry J. Martocchio, Martocchio. You will see my complaints to my local legislative office. and I'm asking for compliancy, and I give the laws and the reasons why, you will see in the 800 section of the ADA their affirmative obligation. I give you technical assistance on towns and states that the DOJ has published. And to me, I'm not repeating law now. I'm not practicing law. What I'm doing is advising you where to find your educational resources to understand your rights. Okay, so again,
Yes.
it's up to you. I can't do it for you guys. And again, you start where I've started. If you're got against the wall of non-compliancy, you got to take it back to 1990 and start going forward. You can't just jump in. Well, the ADA is here. I'm supposed to have protections. I'm supposed to be given it. Bullshit. You turn, where's their administrative duties? Where's their self-evaluations? I wish who's his name was here. Debbie, every 3 years self-evaluations, every 5 years they're supposed to have their transitioning plans. But again, when I say transitioning plan, meaning when they set a goal of in self-evaluation, let's just say wheelchair ramps to get into buildings, they're going to set a goal that 90% of the buildings will be compliant in 5 years. We'll have the upgrade done. If they didn't hit the 90% mark, there's a problem. Same with the expectations of the IEP, that you put reasonable goals on your son.
And that's like we had Judge Janice Jack down here.
I would scream the
And
trumpets, man, because I do not like it. Your child has been segregated. How do they carry over effective training for you as the fit parent that's never had their rights terminated? And I don't care if you're dealing with this up to the day that they're actually scheduled to TPR your rights. This is where I'm trying to say to you guys, you need to go down swinging. And again, it's all been given in technical assistance, in technical guidance. They can't refute it. Why? And I forgot to say this the other day because this will really make sense to you guys. Congress put the Department of Justice involved in making the rules and regulations. They did not put judges involved in interpretation. Do you get where I'm going with this? So again, I wanted to say
yes,
this
sir.
to Gunner the other day, and I just didn't get a chance. If you read how Congress has implemented the ADA in 1990, they knew it was going to be a morphing entity, and they left it to the Department of Justice to transcribe what the rights should be and what the speed of the rights should be. Meaning we're going from zero, guys. We know some states are not going to be expected to be fully compliant tomorrow. It's not going to happen. This is why we're going to give you your funding for the ADA. This is why if you take $1 from my roads, bridges, highways, you should be able to comply with the society's most vulnerable needs. So again, this is where you're going to have to tell the judge, Your Honor, this is not a court decision. This is an administrative decision, not only here from this courthouse, because you're serving the needs of my child and my association rights to my child to file the complaint on his behalf because he does not realize he's being discriminated against. And it's my right as his fit parent to ensure that you are compliant of your federal mandates and funding. I'm being respectful, okay, Your Honor. Mr. Dallas, I think that was an absolutely discrimination. And again, I'll let him bury himself out. I would love to meet the guy. I'd love to work with the guy. You know what I mean? But again, I'm not about money. I'm about teaching, because I need you to open your mouth and create the record. Now, when you leave, you go file your complaint, simple, easy, sweet, to the DOJ. And they're going to probably say, oh, sir, I'm sorry. We're not able to help you at this time. But that doesn't mean you have merit in your case. Let me tell you what's happening behind the scene. Phone calls are being made, and they're saying, what the freak is going on here, you jackasses? And if I'm telling you guys, the power of the complaint is, if we get 20 complaints in a common situation within the state, the authority of the hammer is coming down. They will have to settle a settlement agreement with the Department of Justice. Now, once we got that settlement agreement, that's why I'm begging you to go onto their website tonight and try to pull down ada.gov, search box.
I'm on it now.
Search box, Texas. Settlement agreements with the deaf. Do you understand? You can just put in Texas and then separate settlement agreements for deaf people. And find out what other states are doing. Because if they have another settlement agreement like in Connecticut, which I'm telling you, you should be able to. Well, no, that one was a secret settlement agreement. It took a FOIA for me to get that one. Because DOJ is a little different when you want to deal with getting settlement agreements. But even Massachusetts, you should be able to call Massachusetts, their Office of Civil Rights, and say, I am seeking settlement agreements or finding of fact of non-compliancy of Title II of the American Disability for the deaf and hard of hearing community. So that's another option. I don't have the save all for tomorrow morning, but I'm trying to tell you, you just need to make a quick record and then it can be expanded later. You're putting it on record. You're putting it on record that you are being discriminated against, your child's being discriminated against, and you need to do it. Because if you don't, then you don't have standing to chase us into federal court. Why? Because the feds, and again, you'll read it in my briefs, their 11th immunity is gone. Their immunity is gone. Once they accept $1 of funding, they cannot claim immunity because the ADA is supposed to be an administrative duty. It's not. I can't. You got a little bit of work, but I've done most of the work for you. And again, Google my name. I don't care if you copy paste. It's your thing. You know, but you're gonna have to. I don't have no copyright on it, so I'm just letting you know. You do whatever you want to do. But that's 3 major centers, and I'm telling you, Mass is pretty strong on the disability rights. So I don't get how Texas, a substandard piece of shit, would even think about sending your child to Massachusetts. I just don't get it. And again, look up Hartford, Connecticut, because they might know some advocates over at the School of Deaf in Hartford. And I believe, again, it's Hart. They were probably the first or second in the country to have the school for the deaf.
Yeah, that was their other option, to send him there, and they backed out.
You should have taken it because it's a beautiful school.
I didn't have an option. But
you do have an option. You're a fit parent that has not had their rights terminated. Stop with that. I don't ever want to hear you say you don't have an option.
Attaboy, Henry.
You are a fit.
Attaboy, Henry.
You guys got to stop the nonsense and stop letting them bully you around. And I'm guarantee you, this is what they're doing to you. It's called coercion underneath the American Disabilities Act. Look it up. They're coercing you and telling you, oh, no, we know it's better. I'm the freaking parent. I know it's better.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
So, Henry.
Go, Tiff.
I'm going to call you after 11 o'clock tomorrow.
We got to talk. All of us got to talk because I'm peeking and freaking. You guys got me going so bananas. I mean, my blood pressure, I don't even think there's enough blood pressure medicine out there for me. And I'm getting hit all directions, plus my own personal life. You know what I mean? But it's a good thing because I think we got people on the run today. And we'll find out in October. And I need you 2 guys to get into them clips. I even sent it to Gunner, I believe. I would like to see you tomorrow night at that meeting. And if we can delay this meeting or do this meeting earlier, I'd be so happy, Tiff, because I think you can bring a lot to the table. And again, it's not about a power trip on my behalf or whoever's behalf introducing this bill. So again, it's an open thing, but through this group here, I think we can reach a lot more Congress people and get a lot more connections. And again, every night I keep on getting connections every time I go there. And again, it's mind-boggling to me on how many people are doing the exact same thing, guys, that we're doing here now today, fighting for our rights, because the government is denying you your rights right now. And I would be pissed like a hornet tomorrow. And if they want to give me that would be the first thing. Good day, Your Honor. I have a couple of house cleaning matters. First off, let's start off. If you want to submit me to a psychology evaluation as retaliation and coercion, I'll gladly submit any day of the week, but it'll be with my treating doctor. I would start off the whole thing that way. I'd be pissed. You got nothing to lose. Make a freaking record. Sir, you have your work. Google my name. Go after what I've written. Read it. Read the settlement agreement 3 times. The King Rikers Island settlement agreement. You'll understand they have an affirmative responsibility that they're shoving up your rear end.
Everybody, tomorrow night, same time, same place.
Karen, call me
Deal.
tonight.
Thank you guys very much for coming on. It was very good. We'll be back. Have a good one, guys.
Podcasts and voices breaking through the noise, speaking for the silenced, giving them a choice, breaking down the walls, lifting up the veils. Truth comes marching in, guided by the trails. Fade backing down till the dawn's early light, standing tall and firm, ready for the fight. The world may try to silence, but they won't be ignored. Freedom's melody echoes in every chord. Free, I can't save the family, hold them tight. Every voice, every heart shining through the night. Fight for the Constitution, stand your ground. It's not over until justice is found. Kids save the family, hold them tight. Every voice, every heart shining through the night. Fight for the Constitution, stand your ground. It's not over until justice is found. Justice found. Freedom found. Podcasts and voices breaking through the noise, speaking for the silenced, giving them a choice. Thunder crash. We're tired of the silence, time to make a splash. Battle flag is waving high above the fray. The fight begins right here today. Raise the flag, we won't back down. With hearts of fire, we'll take this town. United voices, loud and clear. The Punisher's call, you've gotta hear. Marching through the chaos with unyielding pride. Gunners by my shoulder with a rising tide. The world can try to break us, but we'll never fall. Parents standing tall, we've answered the call. Raise the flag, we won't back down. With hearts of fire, we'll take this town. United voices, loud and clear. The Punisher's call, you've gotta hear. Fight for what's right, never Raise the flag.